Hi, everyone. Before we start the lesson, I just wanted to check in with you, see how you are doing. I wanted to tell you, remind you, if you're having trouble, you can always watch the lesson again or rewind a little bit to watch a part again. And today's lesson is Lesson C. It's a grammar lesson. And sometimes the grammar is difficult for people, of course. So even if you watch the lesson and do the practice, if you are having trouble, please email me. I'm very happy to answer your email question or meet with you on Zoom and help you that way, okay? I know learning online can be difficult. So please don't feel that you have to figure it out yourself. I'm here to help you, okay? So today's lesson is Ventures 4, that's advanced, Unit 5, Around Town, Lesson C. If you have your book, it's page 62 and 63. Today's lesson might be difficult for you. I hope it's not, but this is a verb tense contrast lesson. This is an advanced lesson. You're going to be using present, past, and present perfect. We study present perfect a lot at high intermediate level. So if you started class here at advanced level, or if you missed some present perfect lessons, this might be a little bit hard for you. But the purpose of this is to talk about repeated actions in the present and past, things that happen often on a regular basis or multiple times. And so present, past, and present perfect, here's the tense. And then we're going to practice using this once, one time, twice, two times, three times, several times, and many times. Several is like 7 or 10, and many can be many, many, like 50, okay? And then time expressions. A week, which means every week. Once a week means one time every week. Each month, once each month, same thing, right? One time a month. And then past expressions, last year, 2 years ago, when she was 12. When I was 12, it was 19, I don't know what. But that's a time expression in the past we use with past tense. And then look at these. These time expressions we use with present perfect. So far means any time in the past until now. Recently is the close past, like last week, last month, not 5 years ago. And in her life means any time, okay? Let's watch this grammar explanation. I will stop and help explain it as we go.
Verb tense contrast. Unit 5, Lesson C.
And the point of this is to give you more fluency to talk about your experiences.
Repeated actions in the past and present. Watch and listen. In sentences that talk about repeated actions, correct word order is subject plus verb plus number of times plus time expression. The number of times answers the questions, how often? The time expression answers the question, when? Present.
This year, Sana volunteers at the homeless shelter 3 times a week.
This year, Sana is volunteering at the homeless shelter several times a month.
Past.
Sana volunteered at the homeless shelter once last year.
Sana volunteered at the homeless shelter twice when she was 12.
Okay, so this is the number of times, even if we don't say how many, like 7. And that's the time expression to give context.
Present perfect.
Sana has volunteered at the homeless shelter several times recently.
Sana has volunteered at the homeless shelter many times in her life.
Notice with present perfect, we have has, the main verb, but in the third form of the verb. And so far, recently, and in her life are not specific. Past tense was last week, okay? So far, recently in her life is not a specific point in time. It just means before, really.
Check your understanding. Look at the picture and the tense. Complete the sentences using the correct form of the verb in parentheses.
Okay, so this year, Sana has volunteered at the homeless shelter 3 times a week. Oh, this is present. Sorry.
Now listen to the sentences.
This year, Sana volunteers at the homeless shelter 3 times a week.
This year, Sana is volunteering at the homeless shelter 3 times a week.
Okay, so the reason I said present perfect is because this year can mean from 11 months ago up till now, present perfect, or it can mean present, and I just didn't see this right now. They were trying to get you to say this year, Sana volunteers, which means all the time. You can also use this with present perfect. This year, I have not visited my friends, okay? So this is a little bit ambiguous in English. It can mean kind of before present perfect or actually right now. And then this is to show you, you can also use present continuous. This year, now, Sana is volunteering at the shelter 3 times a week. How about past?
Sana volunteered at the homeless shelter once last year.
Sana volunteered at the homeless shelter twice when she was 12.
Okay, I said past tense is a specific time in the past, not just before. What's the specific time? Last year. What's the specific time? When she was 12, 19, whatever, right? Or 2000 something. I'm old. Okay, this is one line, but present perfect, you need 2 verbs. Have or has for Sana, she, and then the main verb, volunteer, in the 3rd form, remember? Sana
has volunteered at the homeless shelter several times recently.
Sana has volunteered at the homeless shelter many times in her life.
Okay, because it's she, you need has. Volunteer, the 3rd form of the verb is the same as the 2nd in this case, volunteered. It's a regular verb. So work, the 2nd form, the past tense would be worked. The 3rd form is also worked. A regular verb will just have ed for the 3rd form. If this was I or you, we or they, it would be I have volunteered. Be careful. I know the grammar point for today is this part, several times recently, many times plus in her life, but most mistakes I see are in this part of the sentence, okay, which is just present perfect.
Let's review.
Okay.
Present.
This year,
Okay, I'm going to X out of this. He just reads it, and it's a little bit difficult to see. This book is clearer. There, I'll make it as large as I can. Okay, so again, present, 2 present tenses is simple present. Again, if you have an he, a she, or an it, Sana is she, and because it's a she, see if I can do this, she, you need this S right here. This year means right now. She volunteers at the shelter twice a week or twice each month. This year, Sana is volunteering. Because this is she, you need is. If it's I am, right? You are volunteering. Don't forget to change that verb to be if you're doing present. These are both present, okay? Past tense, volunteer. This is a regular verb. Work, worked. Be careful of irregular verbs. If the verb is to go, your past tense is gone, right? But here, Sana volunteered at the shelter several times last year. These right here are specific. I want to see if I can't type on this very easily. So you have to deal with my terrible writing. Specific. And specific means like exact or a date. Last week, 2 o'clock, March 12th, 2010. Okay, so that's with past tense. And then present perfect, this is a she. So because it's she, you have has. If it's I, you, we, they, it would be they have volunteered. And so far recently and in her life, those are not specific. I can't write specific again. These are specific points in time. These are not. They're basically just before. If I say, I have volunteered before, well, when? Do you know when? No, you don't. It means before, but not specific, okay? I have, let's see. I have volunteered recently means before. I volunteered last week is specific, okay? So if this part is difficult for you here, the difference between this, we really study this in high intermediate. I'm happy to meet with you and explain it. And you can also Google, there are so many good websites. The difference between past and present perfect. Look for those. There's some good websites. Okay, now we're going to practice. Down here, I want you to get your notebook out or a piece of paper. And it says, complete the story with present, present perfect, or past form of the verbs. So how do you know if it's present, present perfect, or past forms? You're going to look for these clues, these words that indicate either present, past, or present perfect, or if it's the verb with have and another verb. There's a lot to help you determine what it is. So take out your notebook or piece of paper, write 1 through 9, and see if you can complete the story about Sally, okay? Stop the video, and I'll show you the answers in a moment. Are you finished? Move this down. I hope you can still see this. I want to look at this and the story. All right, let's look at the answers. Here we go. All right, Sharing with Sally. Sally Sutherland created Sharing with Sally, a volunteer organization that helps seniors stay connected with the outside world. The organization has delivered over 5,000 dinners to seniors so far. What does so far mean? So far means present perfect. So here you need has and delivered. That's the past participle. Okay, so this is the information you need to tell you it's present perfect. All right, next one. Sharing with Sally began, right here, began 6 years ago. 6 years ago is a specific date. So you need past tense. So begin, began, it began, okay? Number 3, several times a week, Sally and her volunteers deliver meals. Okay, several times a week, several times a week. Right here, present tense, deliver. It means now, right? Several times a week right now, they deliver meals. Talk to seniors, nothing has changed. So number 4 is also present to seniors on the phone, and visit. Visit the ones who can't leave their homes. 3, 4, and 5, deliver, talk, visit. They are all right here, several times a week. Several times a week would be present tense. Now, all right, that's number 5. Number 6, Jake, where is it? Jake, a college student. Sorry, I missed something. Over 200 people volunteer at Sharing with Sally. Jake, a college student, something, all last year. Last year is a specific date right here, which means past tense. So volunteer, volunteered all last year. He called elderly people on the phone once a week and talked to each person. So volunteered called, and talk are all what Jake did last year. They're all the same, past tense. He said it was a very valuable experience. Betsy, a 35-year-old mother of 2, something for 2 years so far. What is so far? It is has volunteered, present perfect. So number 9 is she, Betsy, has volunteered for 2 years so far. There's your present perfect clue, and loves it. Also, Betsy is she, even though it's separated by this adjective here, a 35-year-old mother of 2. Betsy has volunteered for 2 years. Make sure you have this has right there. That's important. Okay, so all the answers are right here. Please check your answers. You can stop it, pause it if you need to check. Okay, all right, let's look up here. There we go. So this part here, it says talk with a partner. I'm going to have you do this in your notebook. Make sentences about Betsy's volunteer experience. Include the number of times and time expressions. Betsy visited seniors at their homes 30 times last year. She has also visited them 15 times this year. Betsy called seniors on the phone 30 times last year, past tense, and she has also called them 25 times this year so far. So what am I doing? Last year is past tense. This year is present perfect. Let's look again. Betsy visited, simple past, right here. Visited seniors at their homes 30 times last year, right? She's also visited them 15 times so far this year. This one is past. I can write this. Past. And so far is present. Whoops. Present. I'll just do PP. How's that? Present perfect. Okay. Here is your has, and there's your participle. So I'm going to have you try this part for homework, and I'm going to get you started, and then I want you to finish them yourself. So here, this is my notebook. Number 1 is done. Okay, so let's do number 2 and number 3, and then you can finish this for homework. So actually this would be number 2, right? Okay, so we've got call seniors on the phone last year. I'm gonna say she, whoops. She called class. She called seniors on the phone 45 times, wow, 45 times last year. And then also I'm going to say she has called seniors on the phone 25 times so far this year. Okay, right here is simple past, and last year is simple past. Let's do green for simple past and green for simple past time clause. Has, let's do turquoise. Has and called right here together. This is present perfect, and so far is the present perfect clue. Does that make sense? So number 3, let's do 2 more, and then you can finish by yourself. Help Sally put meals on the truck. We're talking about Betsy, right? So let's do Betsy has, oops, I have to do last year. Betsy helped Sally put meals on the truck. How many times? 5 times. When in the past? Last year. And Betsy has helped Sally put meals on the truck. How many times? 1 time so far this year. again. Let's look again. Last year, Betsy helped. This is green, past, simple past. When was it? Last year. Here we go. Specific time, last year. And then Betsy has helped. This is present perfect, right? Actually, the whole thing is present perfect. That might be easier to see. So far is your present perfect. Okay, this is the pattern. Let's do one more. Deliver meals. Sally, right? Betsy, sorry. Betsy delivered meals 25 times last year. And at this point, I'm going to say she. She has delivered meals, how many times? Wow, 10 times so far this year. So here's your simple past. Last year, Betsy delivered meals 25 times. Last year, simple past. Now, she has delivered. This is the present perfect. And we have so far as present perfect. But I'm actually going to go like this. You can see this. I'm sorry if it was small. She's delivered meals 10 times so far this year. And you can also do this. Betsy's helped Sally 1 time so far. She's called seniors on the phone. This is much more common, especially when you're speaking, okay? So you can write it like this, or you can write it like this. They're both okay. So here, let me open this up a little bit. Well, I will put this on the lesson as well. These are the answers. I would like you to try this for homework, okay? I will make a form so you can send this to me. This is really good practice. You have to be confident in present tense verbs, past tense, and present perfect. But this is advanced, and this is what we study at this level. You need to be flexible with these tenses, okay? So if you need to listen again, go ahead. If you have any questions, please email me. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Bye.